Subscription of shares. So in this problem, we are required to prepare journal entries to record the transactions. So if you want to read the whole problem before proceeding to the answers, you could pause the video for a while and then go on with the problem. So let us journalize these five transactions of Gabayan Incorporated. So we have authorized shares of 125,000 and a par value of 10 peso per ordinary share. So we are required to again journalize. I would like to emphasize in this problem these two methods of recording stock transactions. We have journal entry method and memorandum entry method. So in the first one, the first transaction happens on February, I mean, yes, February 1, 2019. But under the journal entry method, before that, we are going to prepare these entries. This entry. So for authorization, under the journal entry method, we are going to prepare debit unissued ordinary shares and credit authorized ordinary shares. So if you could notice, kailangan muna nating i-record or kailangan sa natubuhatan og balay si authorized ordinary shares in the amount of 1.25 million. So that's basically 125,000 times 10 peso par value. In the memorandum method, upon authorization, we don't need to prepare journal entry, but instead we just have to make a memorandum entry. It's a simple the corporations was authorized to issue 1.25 million ordinary shares divided into 125 shares with 10 peso par. So it's as simple as that. So the memo entry, we just have to include the total amount of authorized ordinary shares, and how many shares, the number of shares, and also the par value. Okay, so that's the difference between the two. So ma'am, unsa ang atuang ginagamit? Is it the journal entry method or the memorandum entry? Actually, we are using the memorandum entry method. So from this video forward, or from this problem forward, we are going to apply the memorandum entry method. But in this problem, let's just see the difference between the two. So let us now record the February 1 transaction in which Gabayan sold subscriptions for 25,000. And of that subscription, one third has been paid as down payment. So the subscription price is 15 pesos. So if you could notice, 15 ang subscription price, although the par value is 10. So we are going to expect an excess, which we are going to record in the share premium. Okay? So we are going to record first subscription receivable, ordinary, right? And then we are going to record subscribed ordinary shares. And for the excess, kasi nga 'di ba mas dako ang atuang subscription price compared to the par value. So share premium ordinary shares. So we are going to record that in the amount of first subscription receivable sa iyahang subscription price, which is 25,000 times 15. Okay? And then subscribed OS, I think we already learned this one, that we are going to record it at par, right? So at par, that is 25,000 times 15 a par. 10 a par. And then the excess will go to share premium. So that's 375 minus 250, or we could compute it as 25,000. Okay, 25,000 times 5 pesos. So it's the same, 125. Now under the memorandum entry, we are going to record the same transaction. The same entry, Okay? So the same lang siya. There you go. Next, let us record February 15. Hindi. Meron pa palang down payment, right? So we are going to record cash and then credit subscription receivable ordinary in the amount of 1/3, right? So that's 375 divided by 3. Actually, we could make an alternative entry. Pwede na to siya himuon na compound, okay? So this is just an alternative entry. Compound in a sense na pwede na to isahon ang kaning duha ka entries. Okay? Although this is already considered a compound entry kasi more than one credit. So, kung isahon na to siya, that's a simple debit cash. Alternative lang ni siya ha. So, kung wala ning duha first two entries, you could record this one. But if you already have these two, wag mo na i-record to kundi magiging redundant na yung information. So, you have cash and then subscription receivable ordinary, and then we just have to credit this too. So cash, we received 125, and then the subscriptions receivable will only be 375 or 25,000 times 15 times 2 over 3. 2 over 3 na lang kaya nabayaran naman ng 1/3 as down payment. So that's 250. It's a simple 375 minus 125,000. Your subscribed OS is as is, 250 pa rin. And your share premium is as is pa rin, 125. And under the memorandum entry, this alternative method is just the same. Okay? And ito naman, the same lang din. So, walang masyadong kaibahan si journal entry method tsaka si memorandum entry method except for this one. And meron siyang unissued ordinary shares, authorized shares. Wala si memorandum entry method. So, ato na makita later on kung unsa pang uban nila nga difference. Let's proceed to February 15. Gabayan sold 10,000 shares for 180,000. So it's a simple cash. And then ordinary shares. Question, do we record share premium? Let's see. 10,000 and par. So that's 10,000 times 10 na par. You received cash of 180, right? Therefore, the difference of 80,000 will be your share premium. Okay? Kasi you received 180. So you have their share premium ordinary shares. Next, March 1, an installment amounting to 1/3 of the subscription was received. So meron na naman tayong na-receive na installment. Ito pa rin, cash and subscriptions receivable, and 1/3. So that is 375 divided by 3. So that's 1/3. The same, 125,000. And under the memorandum entry method, walang kaibahan, ganun pa rin. Next, let's have March 19. Gabayan exchanged 200 shares of stock for a new two-way radio system. So, we are going to record this at fair market value because sinabi niya may fair market value na 3,800. Now, question, ansa nga to ang i-debit ni ma'am? Okay, so let's have this statement. The following 2019 transactions relate to the initial issuance of Gabayan shares. So, ibig sabihin ka ng two-way radio system. It has something to do with the initial issuance, okay? The initial issuance of your shares. And if that's the case, we are going to record it as organization expense. Okay? Organization expense is the expense that you incur upon kanang initial na transactions or kanang nag-set up pa lang ka sa corporation, like nagbayad ka sa SEC, nagbayad ba kag photocopy na imuhang or printing sa imuhang articles of incorporation, nag-consult ba kag attorney, mga legal fees on the initial issuance of your shares. Okay? So kung naay mga nga nga klase sa expenses, we consider it as organization expense. So it's an expense, and instead of paying the radio system, we paid or we have given them ordinary shares. Okay, so they want to hold a certain share in the company. So it's 200 shares in exchange of 3/8 service. 3/8 tapos 200 times 10. If you could notice, may excess na naman na 1/8, tama? And this excess will be again your share premium. Ordinary shares. And under your memorandum entry method, the same entry. Okay, so di na nato makita no kay gamay. Ayan. Next, you have here April 1, the last one. The final one-third of the subscription price was received and shared. So, nabayad na tag-installment nga one-third and then nagdugang na po tagbayad dirig one-third. So, this time, ato na siyang i-finalize o bayad ang nabilin nga one-third. Okay, that's ordinary. And that would be again 125. The same entry para sa atuang memorandum entry method. So since nabayaran naman niya, di ba, ang atuang sabot or ang naingon sa code, dili ta mag-issue og stock certificates and shares hangtod sa dili niya mabayaran in full. So this time nabayaran na niya, right? So we are going to eliminate this subscribed ordinary shares and then ato na siyang hatagan og ordinary shares. Okay? This is supposed to be our entry kung atong gigamit is memorandum entry method. So, lagay natin yan siya dyan. It's the typical entry na ato ang gina-studyhan. So, this is equal to your par value which is 25,000 times 10. So, that's 250. Ito yun siya. Ito. Ato lang ning gi-eliminate by debiting it and crediting your ordinary shares. Unsa ngano day ma'am kung dinhi as a journal entry method, take note hindi po tayo nagme-maintain ng ordinary shares na account. Wala pong ordinary shares na account na mini-maintain si journal entry method. So, ang partner ni subscribed ordinary shares ato siyang i-close into what account man di ay ma'am. Ato ang gina-maintain is our unissued ordinary shares. Okay? So, this time, makuhaan na ang atuang unissued ordinary shares. Ang mahitabo, we have to credit. Okay. Unissued ordinary shares. Again, walang mini-maintain na ordinary shares account si journal entry method. So, that is, again, 25,000 times your 10 peso par, and that is 250,000. Ayan. So now, since lahi-lahi man ang iyahang components, the tendency is, lahi-lahi pud ang ang mo-appear. Lahi-lahi ang components ni journal entry and then ni memorandum entry. Na sila certain accounts na dili pariha. Just like this unissued and authorized ordinary shares. Something na wala si memorandum entry. If that's the case, mag-change pud ang parts sa atuang journal entry method ang atuang equity section using journal entry method. So, under the journal entry method, first, we are going to recognize the authorized ordinary shares. That is 1 to 50. Tama? That's our entry number 1. Ayan. We recognize first the authorized ordinary shares. 1 to 50. And then, we are going to deduct the unissued ordinary shares. Ang atuang unissued ordinary shares is ang beginning 1 to 50 minus nabawasan siya og kani, right? Kaya ato namang gi-issue ning uban. So, ang nabilin, we just have to deduct that one equals issued ordinary shares. If we are going to look at it, mao na siya ang issued. Okay? 250,000 shares. And then, let us add the share premium. First, we have it here upon subscription plus, napabatay laing share premium. Ito, this is just an alternative. So, ayun na siya pansin na. Okay, ito rade. Ano, mali na ako ang formula. Again. Plus, ito. First share premium, this one, plus the next share premium is eto. Okay, and napa sa ubos. There's another share premium there of 1/8. And there you go. Our total shareholders' equity now is 468,800 pesos under the journal entry method. But under the memorandum entry method, again, ito yung usual na ginagamit natin. Hindi natin makikita dun si authorized and unissued, kundi diretso na. Ordinary shares, 10 peso par, 125 authorized, and 35,200 issued and outstanding. So, 35,200 times par um, na 10 pesos, that's 352. Okay, 352 ba? Di lagi sila pareha din, no? Ay, okay. I'm so sorry. Um, Tama, wala di ay naga-maintain og ordinary shares, no? Si journal entry method. So, dapat kani di ay dili ni siya ordinary shares, kundi unissued ordinary shares. The same goes here. Tama? Etong organization expense. Ayan. So, I'm so sorry. So, ito palang unissued, hindi yan siya 1 million, kundi that's 1 to 50 yung first entry minus katong uban nga ning gawas like kani minus kani and then minus pagyud ani. Okay? Therefore, our issued ordinary shares is 352,000. So, in our memorandum entry, it's the same, 352,000. Ato lang na siyang gi-multiply, 35,200 times the 10 peso par. Pero kung gusto nato siya isa-isahon, we are going to based on the entry kasi mas safe kung mag-base ta sa entry. Sige, pangitaon na to ang ordinary shares din hiya sa entry. So, you have it here. Plus 2,000 plus 250. A total of 352,000. And your share premium, again, let's go to our entries. Pangitaon na to si share premium. You have it here. Plus, eto. Plus, this one. Na pa ba? Wala na. So, our share premium is 206,800. Again, our total shareholders' equity is 558,800. If you could notice, under the journal entry method and under the memorandum entry method, our total shareholders' equity is just the same. Issued shares na 352,000 in journal entry is equivalent to our ordinary shares issued and outstanding in memorandum entry method. So this means that whether you use journal entry method or your memorandum entry, the same number of shares issued and the same amount of shareholders capital and also the same share premium, 206,800, 206,800. Again, the difference the difference is just this. Hindi tayo nagme-maintain ng ordinary shares kay journal entry method. Instead, ang atong gina-maintain unissued ordinary shares. So, upon authorization na atay entry, but in memorandum entry method, from the term itself, memorandum entry method, memo entry lang atong ginabuhat upon authorization. And these unissued shares, mo na ni ang maglihok throughout the records. Dinhiya sa memorandum entry, ang maglihok na account is your ordinary shares. So again, from this problem forward, we are going to apply the memorandum entry method. Okay? So that is all for our subscriptions or subscription of shares.